And hello. Thank you so much for waiting. We are here and it is time to play. I got everybody in the right spot. Yes, I do. Excellent. Uh, um, my name is Kevin. We are Dirty 20 Gaming. It is Saturday, and that means that this is Corsairs of the Cosmos. I look forward to all the shows, but I really look forward to this one every week because this one's nuts. And it keeps going. Like, it's nuts with consequences. It's not just nuts and then see you next week for a completely different game like Fridays. So, to get all the technicals out of the way nice and early, we're playing Corsairs of the Cosmos. That's our adventure. The system is Scum and Villainy. It's a Forged in the Dark game by Stras Asimovich and John LeBoeuf Little. The character sheets in Roll20, which is our VTT of choice, are done by Tim Dene, Jacob Osinghaus, and Chris McDonald, all of Evil Hat Productions. The imagery, my background, and the bits and pieces around the overlay are all from Pixabay. The music, when you hear it later on, is all from bensound.com. The face rigging is done via FaceRig. The high-def character art on 3 of our 4 characters is done using HeroForge. The 4th one is done using, I believe it's Hero Relative, I believe is what the artist who did the 4th one is called.
Yeah, my niece, Cookie.
Cookie did the art for Mihoshi. So that's all of that. Now I get to introduce you to these wonderful people. Let's start with Mihoshi because we already know you have a wonderful niece. What else do we need to know about you?
I do occasionally stream on my own channel. I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the in there.
I saw you were Fortniting the other night.
Play Fortnite. I do play Fall Guys as well, Among Us. I'm open to suggestions, and I've started picking up a little bit of Pokemon trading card game.
Nice.
I also have my own website, Bleach the Darkness Within. You can reach out to me at on Discord. Yeah. You can find me there at Solar Dasher. I also have a Twitter. I also have a bunch of other things. You can find me mostly on Discord, though, that Kevin lovingly put over there. But that's pretty much it.
That's it for you. Perfect. Okay. Well, I remember to put my headphones in. Oh, hey, I'll bet you I'll be able to hear you better now. Oh, here we go. So next in line, I started in the middle. So next in middle, 8Ball played for us. This is like the only chance he gets to speak during the night is during the introductions. Bison, tell us about what you're doing in, 54 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, 54 years. Yeah. So roughly around in the year 2045, I'll probably have my Cyberpunk Red campaign going. That will be a non-streamed game. I spoke with one of the players already, and he's decided to be a solo. I had him at rotating buff. So, yeah, solos have a buff they can move around per round. So, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I do that. I'll also, if you see Rustbar streaming, I'll often be playing SnowRunner with him. And other than that, I'm with these guys.
Very cool. Speaking of Rustbar, I watched him crash all over the place last night. He just got his wheel and found out I had ACC. So we went and crashed badly in public servers. It was wonderful. There, that makes up for the night I forgot to introduce him in one of these games. There, I've introduced him and he wasn't even friggin' here tonight. So next, let's go all the way to the far end because that's where we keep them. The Scarred Adventurer. Tell us about your whole community.
So I have a small community over at thescarredadventure.com, which is going to be in the chat and other places in things as soon as I actually hit the enter button properly. But please come over, spend time with the wonderful people that I've got there, including Wayward Knight, who you will see and hear from in just a few seconds. And many other people that you should check out and learn about. I also have a fun project in the works that I will announce a little bit more of when it becomes closer to the time to actually do the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing like a bit of mystery to get him to come back next week. And that leaves the person, if I looked up from where I'm sitting, I'd be able to see right inside her head. Wayward Knight, tell us what else you're doing. I know you have a plan in place too for an upcoming thing. Could I be more vague?
So, first off, like Scarred Adventure said, I am a contributor to the Scarred Adventurer blog. I just posted my first thing in a while. I put up art mostly. And speaking of art, I sell my art on things. You can find me at Wayward Knight on Redbubble, and also now at Wayward Knight on TeePublic.
Oh, nice! So I can get them. I can get them much bigger now.
Probably, yeah.
Crap, wrong way.
I'm very happy you put those links up because now I can put them on the website.
I'm still getting used to TeePublic, but there's stuff on Redbubble that's not on TeePublic, and there's stuff on TeePublic that's not on Redbubble, so go to both.
That's the way to do it. Make them go to both. Get all those hits. Get all those likes. That's them. That leaves me. I'm Kevin. I am Dirty 20 Gaming, essentially. And I am here about to be 5 nights a week. I do another game a night that isn't streamed, so that's 6 nights a week, and I'm waiting to find out when I start the 7th game. That'll be going on for 12 weeks or so. So we'll see how that goes. There may be a skeleton of me sitting here in about 12 weeks. But until then, I will be here. And I think it's time to move on. But before we go... skeleton in the room, yes. Speaking of which, thank you for the segue. Anybody who watched last week saw it got a little strange at the end, and took this as a sort of a teaching moment. It was possible for all of us to learn something from it. When we improv, sometimes things go places we didn't necessarily see the consequences of. And I want to start this by saying this is 100% on me. I asked somebody to play 2 characters that were diametrically opposed to each other, and they did exactly what I asked them to do. And that character was such a prick that we are now going to remove them from the universe. So retconning is okay. You're allowed to do it. And like I said, 100% this is on me because I asked for Ron, and I got exactly what I asked for. And he pooped in my open mouth, and that's 100% on me. So with that, here's what happened. If you go back to next week or last week, rewind it in your head, at the end of it, 4-ball was not damaged by Ron because Ron never happened. What happened when you got back to the ship is Frankie was overwhelmed by the whole thing and went to his room to watch cartoons, as he does. 8-ball or 4-ball was damaged by Pater Noster, the bastard you guys rescued, who then proceeded to stiff you for your reward. So he is damaged, and that affected 8-ball in ways that we will see. I feel like I'm missing something here. 4-ball was damaged. Frankie was overwhelmed and went to his room. Oh yes, the chopping up never happened. So you delivered a whole and complete Pater Noster to the location that he was going. So with that, now rewritten, because it's allowed, there's a phrase for it. It wouldn't be a 2-word phrase that they had to compress together if it didn't get done all the time. So with that, let's get back into our game. But first, the news. Good evening. I'm Reynolds Rapp, and this is the Hegemon Says, the only official newsertainment channel in the sector. Tonight we're going directly to our latest field reporter, Vindicta Necesse. Vindicta? Good evening, Reynolds. And apparently I'm going to have to do your job for you this evening, you incompetent ass. In today's headlines, on Amarath in the Iota system, the bodies of many mendicants and neo-druids have been found in their deep forest homes. Evidence left intentionally on scene suggests the Church of the Stellar Flame is responsible. They have not officially responded to our requests for interviews. However, their daily sermon today was focused on heretics and how they must be rooted out and destroyed. In other news, a massive explosion at the Guild Engineer's office has been blamed on the Scarlet Wolves. The Guild has promised to investigate on their own and respond appropriately. God help whoever they find responsible. And in a final story, there have been several rumors and reports of the inactive Hantu Gate flickering yesterday. No further details are available at this time. And on a personal note, a credible threat has been determined to exist to our anchor Reynolds Rapp. I would like to tell you, Reynolds, to make sure you don't go back to your dressing rooms alone. It won't help, but at least that way...
Most awkward.
Oh, speaking of funniest, we're back. All right. The four of you. 1 credit each. The amount of money you can carry in your pocket and not worry about getting mugged. The knife you pull to defend yourself will be worth more than what you made on that mission. And then, it went poorly, and a lot of stress happened. And so a lot of decompression happened. And in every case, you overindulged. Had a bit too much, which, let's face it, because you guys found out in the news recently that Paternoster, the person that you helped escape, the one that didn't pay you, is a serial killer, and you helped them escape. So yeah, I imagine there was a bender or 9. I suspect in Frankie's case, he probably found some weird foreign cartoons to watch that kind of extra added twist. So they are, we have figured out exactly how that has affected them. Most of them, it's been financial. It's cost them significant amounts of money. There is one other difference, but we're going to have that show up in just a second here. You guys are still in the safest radioactive dumpster in the universe. It still says pizza on the outside, so nobody knows a thing. Inside, the shields of the Rebel Dalliance glow, fighting off the radiation that threatens to overwhelm you. It's been quiet for a couple days as you guys got ripped in here. And as you come out back into the main area, one of you looks dramatically different. I'm just going to call you Ball. For now, can you tell us what's different? Quick, before I have to call you that again.
Well, the way it worked is when everyone got back to the ship, 8-Ball was just, all you could hear was static. There was no actual response on the screen. It was just sort of cloudy. As 8-Ball does the best a robot can do to cry, without understanding the emotion itself, as it takes 4-Ball into its maintenance shed, and the door shuts, and you don't hear anything for days.
Yeah.
A while later, just about the time you expect Rebel to start, getting you guys onto your next job, the door finally opens, and what comes out smells clean, sanitized, like someone's been in there with a rag for 3 days cleaning every single inch. And what you see is not 8-Ball. But it is 8-ball, sort of. Instead of a black ball, it's a white ball with a little blue dot in the center. It has everything is much shinier. There's definitely spent some time getting the good old polish done, and even its very demeanor has changed. It walks with purpose. It walks with presence, and it stands silently, just waiting for someone to speak. This is clearly not 8-ball.
Yeah. And this is where I step in and apologize to you because I forgot to do the overlay modification that I was going to do that allowed me to switch, but I forgot about it completely. So I made myself another note. Hopefully I'll read this one. Anyway.
So actually, since we don't have a picture of cue ball, the helmet is white instead of black. The hands are also white because it has put on gloves. And similarly, a nice powder coat has taken over on the feet to simulate shoes.
Oh, very nice.
Dress shoes.
Dress shoes, of course. Yes, shiny dress shoes.
Right then.
And you walk in that quiet, that completely silent way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Everyone expects it to just keep going to the pilot's chair, but it just stops by where the captain would sit and just sort of off to the side and behind, just waiting.
And what the rest of you see, I just want to drop 2 sentences here. What the rest of you see that cue ball does not is basically right behind them, about a meter behind them, hovering directly in their blind spot, is 4-ball. But he's not purple. He's black, matte black. And there's a little lace veil that goes all the way around. And he's tilted forward slightly, like his head is downcast. And he's following cue.
Saga's in the captain's chair with her feet propped up on the console, eating another sandwich.
You guys are wanted in this sector, not massively, but it's you might not want to hang around too long. There was another mission, I believe we decided the order was we were going to bring Paternoster here, then we were going to pick up the guy from the Institute of Higher Violence, whatever that's about, take him halfway back and drop him off, and then there was a third mission that starts in that sector and goes back to where you guys started. I believe. Was that the plan? Okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Right. So, as you guys sort of look around and see cue ball and 4-ball, or as it's now morn ball, you ever open your mouth and not know what's going to come out, and then you go, "That's how that worked." It's morn ball. Yes, you remember that you have a letter that you're supposed to deliver to to somebody at that university. On the address is on the planet. Where is it? Yeah, on the planet of Aketi in the Breck system, which is where you guys are, and it is addressed to Professor Calliope, theoretical weapon designer. And it's just in an envelope.
Theoretically, they're weapons.
Saga pulls it up to the light to try and see what's in it.
Okay. Give me a study. Sure.
Oh,
Why not? Let's roll some dice and pretend it's a game.
All right.
Threes.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Yeah, okay.
As she's doing that, cue ball just sort of grabs or one of its fingers lights up, and it tries to assist.
Okay.
So,
in that case, roll it again, but add 1 die, which will actually take you back to 1 die because this was the 0, so it took the lowest one. Didn't matter because they were 3s, but yeah, re-roll and add your study plus 1 die. 4. That is a success with a complication. So you hold it up and you start seeing it. You see a couple words, things like Augustus, the word Caesar, but it's spelt wrong. Caesure, and the word Roman, and they're all, you notice them because they're all in quotation marks. The rest of it's kind of hard to see, but those ones are written in like heavy hand. As you hold it up and the light is shining through from the back, you kind of accidentally turn it a little bit and rip the envelope.
Terribly sorry, madam.
It's not your fault. Is there space sellotape?
Absolutely there is. Of course there is.
I'll just tape it up.
I shall go fetch some for you, madam. He just takes off, comes back.
Yeah.
You know, she's going to be at her station, just punching different buttons on the computer there.
Absolutely. So are you guys going to head over to this planet where this guy is?
That's what she's trying to do.
Oh, okay. I wanted to be sure. So yeah, you said in you type into the GPS, well, I guess the UPS, the Universe Positioning System, University of Higher Violence, and then because you know how these things work, you check to make sure it's the one you mean and not one in far distant sector that's going to take you 12 days to get there if you follow your UPS. You find the right one. It comes with a warning. Actually, comes with two warnings.
Highly violent.
One says, the Janus Syndicate does not appreciate visitors. The other one is just an image of the planet. It's a low flyover from a drone. It's only about 10 seconds long. But you can tell from that Aketi, this planet, is wildly violent. There are birds trying to kill the drone. There are squirrels with fangs this long leaping up out of the trees trying to rip it out of the sky. The squirrel jumps up. The bird takes the squirrel in mid-flight. It is just... as the bird flies away with the squirrel, a tree reaches up and grabs them both. And it's just hideously violent natural environment. And in 10 seconds, it's all that gets. The camera's just, and then all you see is teeth, and it's gone.
Are we all seeing this on the screen?
Well, at first, only Mihoshi sees it because you were the one that was. It's like typing something into GPS and saying travel advisory. Your government says you shouldn't go here. It's that moment, right?
So, I mean, once Mihoshi sees this, she's gonna put it up on the big screen and say, guys, what's going on here?
I watch what's going on, and then I just like crack my knuckles, and I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
I wipe a small tear from my eye and go, oh, it's been too long since I've been home. I mean, isn't the place lovely? I mean, that is the carnivorous trees, yes.
No.
Q-Ball's not saying anything.
Oh, you see, because of that, you see something you haven't seen since, well, you lived here, apparently. Tree sharks. A group of tree sharks are hunting through the canopy.
I want one.
Those seem new. They used to be little... They used to be piranhas, but now I think they seem to have grown a bit.
Evolution happens fast here.
I mean, it kind of has to. Survival of the fittest and all that. Why do you think I can do this? And Frankie just kind of like grabs his chest and just opens a large hole in the center. This is so the bullets go through as opposed to into you. And then just it back. And it's a cartoonishly like
this all makes sense.
Skin on the inside.
Q-Ball is just like, not another one.
You guys want to try?
Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
Mihoshi takes out her gun, points it at him, and says, hey, you want to try that?
And then Frankie just kind of opens it up again and goes...
Mihoshi, you look through the hole, point the pistol, and you realize you're pointed directly at the dash of the ship.
Oh. What's the trigger, just the little flag comes out. Ha ha.
Not even pew.
Oh, we made this joke before we started, and I don't like to do reprov, but I'm gonna because it was funny. Did you have the silencer on that?
Sure, why not? Just so we can.
So we learned in the last episode that when you're playing and you pull the trigger, well, first of all, every blaster in this game goes pew pew when you shoot it. That's canon. That's in the book. We determined that if you load it with blanks, a little stick comes out and a flag drops that says pew pew on it. But if you did what Mihoshi just did, which is put the silencer on first and then squeeze the trigger, the same little stick, the same little flag, but the words pew pew are in much smaller text.
That is totally in line with the heavy blaster joke I was thinking of. If he uses it, it just sounds like Michael Clark Duncan saying pew.
Yeah. Pew, pew.
Quick, get out the bazooka!
Pew. You guys haven't seen Rebel, basically since you got back. And when you open up that little closet that he was in, he's gone.
God damn it.
It seems like an omen of something.
Wait, how did he...
Make another study check. Are you going to finger light her? Whoa, hey, wait a minute. I probably should know. Are you going to light the closet with your finger? There, that's a better way of putting that.
I'm
actually... finger lighter, if you know what I mean.
I told you I was going to make you laugh tonight.
Cue Ball's actually going to do it himself because he intuits that Saga isn't the best reader.
Yeah. So you go over and you guys just see the helmet just start to scan. So you give me a study.
Oops, that's not the button. That's the button. Position. Standard.
I get the feeling with Cue Ball it would be, it's Studay.
Studay. It's observe.
Actually, it's, shoot.
He doesn't see shit.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Oh, no.
Cue Ball, please leave a massage.
I know exactly what happens with a 1. Yeah, you lean in and you start doing the zzz. You lean forward too far and realize a moment too late there's one clasp that you always have trouble reaching back here, and your head comes off and falls into the closet. You're a ball, so you're just kind of rolling around in there, trying to like find the low corner of the closet by gravity. And as you thump against one wall, you do see a tiny piece of writing that looks like it's burned into the wall with a wood burning kit.
A wood burning kit.
Yeah, it says, "Hey, can't handle the radiation, bud."
Rebel, where the hell did he get a wood burning kit?
And why did he put it 2 inches off the floor? I think I know. We'll figure it out by the time anybody asks him.
Did he borrow my wood burning kit for this?
You check. Your wood burning kit is untouched.
Ah, phew.
He's a lot of things. He's a lot of things. He's a pirate, but he's not a thief.
There's no wood. There's no wood.
There's no wood.
Oh, well, that just means one thing. Well done. You have narrowed the search, because if it's faux wood, like if it's fake wood, then he must have done that with a fake wood burning kit. That makes it much easier.
Oh, yeah.
So from upside down in the closet, Cue Ball, you're looking up at your own. Well, you're looking at your own very, very clean shoes, for one thing, and sort of the ends of the fingers of the gloves. In my head, the gloves are porcelain, like they're not just cloth gloves. Are they solid or yeah?
He replaces the parts, so yes, they're a much finer side of porcelain steel.
Yeah. Excellent.
Does he can see 4-ball now?
Oh, that's where you went. So that's where you went.
Yes.
Be a dear and get me back onto my body, please. Just fucks off.
Just for a sec. I want one more control to 4-ball, then I'll give him back. Hanging there with his little veil on, he does like a shimmy, just, and the little veil falls off and just flutters to the ground. It goes back to purple, He zooms into the closet. His little hands come out and grab non-existent rough spots on the cue ball. They don't exist. And you hear...
The Graphitics
it's not working, but he is trying as hard as his little propulsor will go.
Seems like a job for Mechanic Frankie at your service. Just welding clothes all of a sudden.
Sweep up now.
No, she starts cleaning the lace.
It's on the floor, so yeah, she's gonna clean
Yeah,
it.
the head starts bouncing around because Matoshi hits it with the broom.
Actually, I was going to say,
as the body
you go for the veil and it runs across the floor, and you go for it and it yeah.
Saga just walks over, picks up the head, and goes.
Much obliged, madam.
Floorball is now hanging off the side of the head, still occasionally going. Bzz, bzz.
That'll be enough.
I'm gonna try and like detach Floorball from from the head. Like it's okay.
Yeah, even though it's a perfectly smooth surface, it's like trying to pull Velcro off, but off something real fragile. But you do eventually get Floorball off, and with that action, I give you back your robot.
Frankie lifts up a welding helmet with full welding thing. What is it actually
torch?
called?
The acetylene torch.
The acetylene torch is already going off, and he's going, but I had a...
The
magnetic
veil.
sun.
The veil runs across the floor, up Frankie's leg, out in front of Frankie's eyes, gives Frankie the finger, and then leaps off the end of his nose.
Frankie just freaks out. Ah!
from the wrong side. Roll me a scrap. This is going to go poorly, really poorly, or hideously poorly.
Is this the veil?
3, 6, and 6.
2 6s is perfect. One each. Got you, and you pull the trigger, and for a split second, only long enough to hear puh. You don't even get to hear the whole first pew. It's just puh, and the veil explodes, and a tiny voice goes, you cut me. And then you see it continue to come towards you, oh shit, and you don't have time. You get the hole slightly open, and the bolt hits a crater where your face used to be. And that's when you hear ew, pew. The other 2/3 of it.
It's not that wasn't the gun, that was the torch.
Oh, the torch. Okay, so you pardon me. Sorry.
So he's got carbon face.
Well, in this case, it's a flashback to the other planet where you're just covered in black.
But it'll split. Why not split it in two and have it go around his head instead?
Yeah. And then when you smile, it all shatters and falls off. Let's do that instead.
And then, with the little pieces of tinge on the hair.
Yeah.
Like that explosion look that Daffy Duck gets.
Exactly.
And the mouth is backwards. Somehow the jaw is just behind his head.
Back there, and you have to pull it back around.
Ow.
And then Yoshi goes through and picks up all the...
starts sweeping away.
Yeah, there's some bits and pieces of Frankie that are on the floor, but it doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, you sweep them up, the tiny bits of remains of the veil.
Did we go button now on the UPS?
Sorry?
Did we actually press go on the UPS?
I'm waiting for you guys to tell me. There's all these warnings coming up, like disclaimers and don't go here's. And... Did you?
So as soon as Mihoshi finishes sweeping, she's going to say, can I press the go button now?
Saga's going to be like, yes. Yes, you may.
Button pushed.
Bang. And the Rebel Dalliance launches forward into the darkness, hurling itself through space at the speed of narrative. Cue Ball, you are flying this thing. Are you the pilot that 8-Ball was?
I am half the pilot 8-Ball was.
Okay, well in that case, I would like you to give me give me a piloting roll, but I want you to tell me how resistant the Rebel Dalliance is to this semi-stranger taking control.
Okay. When 8-Ball gets into the pilot's chair, the nest, whatever you want to call it, it's like sitting in a lazy boy that you picked specifically for how much cushion it had. And it's just like, it's like sitting down into a hug.
Yeah.
Cue Ball gets in and it's like bench seating at a civic arena. It's hard. He doesn't quite really know what he's, he doesn't know where the, like, it's still the same butt in the same chair.
Yeah.
But it's not familiar.
It's like that guy at the hockey game that doesn't understand the game and cheers at all the wrong moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
The guy who cheers for the offsides.
Yeah. So, in that case, this is not going to be easy. Go ahead and give me a piloting roll.
Okay.
It's just going to be that you're, it's going to be a, normally it would be a controlled situation. I wouldn't even make you roll, but we're going to make this risky to see whether the rebel turns on you.
No bonus dice. 3. Straight
that
down
is
the
a
middle.
fail. So, yeah. You Cue Ball, you sit down and start to set the piloting controls, and every time you reach for a button, it moves on the console.
Well, it was a holo display. It would totally make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you cannot catch the button. You look up, and you can see above it the actual windows for what's actually happening to the ship, and it's doing exactly what it should. It's in the perfect getting into orbit process, but it is not allowing you to have anything to do with it.
He doesn't say anything because that would be rude.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Cue Ball is frustrated. It's like this is just like last time.
Give me a study. I want to see something here, whether you figure something out.
I want to do something when he's done.
Okay.
And if
What do you want to do while he's rolling? Study 3. Never mind. He didn't learn nothing.
All right, Saga, what do you got in mind?
Is the machine lying to me?
No, there's no lying involved.
Yeah,
I just want to go up to Cue Ball because, well, first of all,
nobody's said a word about this yet, by the way.
Yeah, no one's noticed, really.
Yeah, no.
As far as Cue Ball knows, they didn't even comment when his head came off. But go.
Saga just stops questioning things. But so she's going to walk over to Cue Ball. First of all, be like, new look or new person?
Same look, old person, proper owner, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I'll think about that. Secondly, can I call you Shiny? And thirdly, no, Shiny's not good. I don't like that one. I'm going to come up with a nickname for you, and I'll get back to you on that one.
My proper designation, madam, is QBLL, the most often heard...
I'm going to call you Cube.
Very good, ma'am.
So, or actually, no, you're QB. You're QB.
As you wish.
And then
you guys, please feel free to continue having this conversation. I just want to let our viewers know, and you guys know, Scarred has had to go. So it's going to take me a minute to get the cameras resorted. So please feel free to chat amongst yourselves on the bridge, and then we will move on. Story-wise line, Frankie just goes, nope, can't do it, and just sort of shrinks into himself and goes back into his room and starts watching more cartoons.
That's definitely sounds like him.
That's as Frankie as I can
Mihoshi
get.
actually, Mihoshi's not too far away from where Cue Ball and Saga are, so she can hear what's going on, but she hasn't done anything just yet. You guys go ahead and finish up your little conversation, and then I'll get in there.
Okay. So Saga's like, okay, you're officially a QB, and lastly, can I put a hat on you? Actually, don't answer that. I'm gonna. And she goes and grabs one of her many pirate hats, and just she goes to her room and grabs a pirate hat, and it's like a very it's not her fanciest hat, but it's a quite ornate hat. It's got a big feather, and she comes back and like after like 30 seconds and just like plops it on Cue Ball's head.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a fortune to see if the immense polish allows it to stay on.
Yes, that is fair. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
No. I'm rolling all threes tonight. Cue Ball is not a lucky sumbitch.
In that case, Saga will tape it on.
He doesn't seem to respond one way or the other to what you've done. Just sort of accepts it.
Well then, okay. So
he's used to being the paid help.
Yeah.
For the second time today, she looks at something and goes, "This is gonna be fun."
Okay, so what I was going to do then, I'm going to use my rigging skill to see if I can rig together something to allow Cue Ball to be able to pilot the ship, if that's a possibility.
Cue Ball can pilot the ship. He does actually have a piloting helm skill of 1. It's just that the ship doesn't like him.
Okay.
Yeah. At all.
I guess not. Well, I tried.
He is an interloper, to say the least.
Yeah. The Dalliance does not approve of this weirdo in her boyfriend's clothes.
That's right. That's basically exactly it. Yes, thank you. Yeah. That's the best way to put it.
So,
this English prick 8-Ball has never spoken kindly of.
Yeah.
So while we're like, while we're sort of piloting the destination. Sorry, what?
So we're all back where we're supposed to be now. We're back in our windows again, so yay.
Yeah, cool.
Continue on, as though nothing had happened.
Okay,
So as we're piloting towards our destination, just like soaring through space, Saga wants to resume her position in the captain's chair, feet propped. Her sandwich is finished, but she wants to sort of swivel to face Mihoshi and be like, I know we didn't get off on a great start, but I guess I should try to, like, be friends. So I have some questions.
Ask away.
What's with your weird teleport thing?
What do you mean by weird teleport thing?
Like, you can be one place and then be another place without actually, like, doing anything. I've seen it happen. It's freaky, but I figure I can use it somehow.
Well, I just want to be somewhere. I say, okay, let's go. If I can see where I'm going, and, well, luck is on my side, I can just get there. I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. I just poof, I'm there.
Okay, we're gonna use that. We're gonna use that. Do you have any, like, strategy skills or, like, sharp shooting or, like, smooth talking or, like, anything useful?
As Saga is talking to me, she's just gonna be playing with making like a balloon animal without even realizing what she's doing. But yeah, she's
Saga
just
raises an eyebrow, like, okay.
And
then she comes out.
She must be from Akedi as well.
And then she's gonna be like, what do you need?
I'll take that.
Okay, cool.
I'm just like, okay, and I just like put that to the side, like, we'll address that later.
Okay.
We'll get back to that.
And then she's gonna bounce around the ship a little bit, like she's had too much, like a kid who's had too much candy to eat.
Absolutely. Cue Ball. I'm assuming you're flying the ship while this is going on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah.
Attempting to. There's the occasional argument in binary between him and the ship. You do hear occasional angry beeps and boops. You're not sure who it's coming from, but clearly two people are trying to hash it out, and it's not going well.
You can see Four-Ball looking back and forth like it's a killer tennis match. He's just looking at the con and then looking at Cue-Ball and just...
Yeah.
Saga like, know.
It's like watching his parents fight. No!
Technically, Saga doesn't know what they're saying, but she can kind of infer the tone. And as a joke, hey, language.
Adam.
And then Mihoshi is gonna pop up behind Four-Ball, pat it on the top, and be like, "Did the ball," and then bounce around some more.
When you do so,
a balloon animal to Four-Ball.
when Mihoshi pats Four-Ball, she notices that Four-Ball is actually like a very, very fine velvet.
Ooh.
Like he's furry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he's a fur ball.
He's more like one of those things you hang in the window than an 8-ball.
Yeah.
Or not hang it from your rearview mirror.
I give a balloon animal to Four-Ball and be like, they're there.
Like a really nice version of a really bad fair prize.
Yeah. Doesn't really know what to do with it. Just sort of like holds it while still watching.
And you hear the ship.
I'm back.
Okay. I gotta move y'all again. It's okay. It's all good. All part of the fun. I said break the game. I didn't expect you to do it this way. Okay. So, as you guys are having these conversations, you hear the ship, the Rebel Dalliance, says, "Parking orbit enabled. Landing. Which shuttle will you be taking to the surface?"
For our Cue-Ball is just like,
Fiona.
I've lost the memory bank for this one. I'm afraid I will have to go check.
Is there a Fiona? I'm asking. I'm asking the ship.
A Fiona?
Yeah.
There's Francesca, Frick.
Oh right, yeah. They start. That's right. They all start with
Fang.
F. I completely forgot what you were talking about.
Yeah.
There is now. If you want there to be a Fiona, then there's a freaking Fiona.
Okay. And I'll let Saga describe her.
Okay, cool.
That's how this works. You invent shit, you have to describe it.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Well, I fixed the fact that everybody keeps changing position and zoom. Okay, we're fixed again. Go.
Playing for time for Kevin. So,
Not part of the GM game I signed up for.
So, Fiona looks very sleek. Very, I guess the word is cyberpunk in a way.
Okay.
She's got those lines of like light blue light that streak and like it kind of looks like it's out of Tron.
The neon contours.
The little power bars that go pulsing down the sides. Yeah,
and then
I got you.
It's sleek, but it's
all
very...
sort of round and lozengey.
It's very compact, but at the same time, it almost looks quaint and like an older model. It's like
Absolutely.
if you combined the Normandy from Mass Effect and Herbie.
I'm just seeing a go-kart version of the Normandy. So. Just squish.
It's sleek, but compact and modern, but quaint.
Rendell, you're absolutely right. I did sign up for all of this. And as you quaintly open the doors in the belly of the Rebel Dalliance, and Fiona, is it?
Fiona
drops out of Rebel's belly. There's no sentence I can touch tonight that doesn't sound disgusting. Falls out of Rebel's belly, and you look up, and because I called them Rebel, you see the name is still on the side. You guys did not instigate the name change protocol. So you are now the name of because that's you couldn't get in, right? You couldn't make and there's no way she was changing her name. So you guys are now, you realize as you're dropping away that it's a wanted ship you're dropping away from.
Oh shit.
As you look down.
Can I turn to Frankie and be like, Frankie, emergency name change?
He's not here. Frankie,
you hear Frankie come from his room. The last time I tried that, they changed history to make it go away. No.
Can I try?
Well, he's on the ship. It's just the three of us.
He's up on the ship. I allowed for some transcutaneous communication. Transcutaneous through the skin? I don't know why that's what happened. You felt Frankie vibrate against you. I don't know. See? I did it again.
I have a communicator, so we could have done that.
Either way, you guys are dropping as okay. So I'll give you this. All of you do something to try and communicate. And what happens where it says Rebel d'Alliance, suddenly it ripples and it says pizza.
Pizza.
As you guys drop
we
to
all
words.
think really, really hard.
Yes. And as you look down, the screen pans down ahead of you at the only building you can see on this planet. It is surrounded by laser turrets that never shut off. They're just raking the surrounding forest. Trees, animals, plants, everything just dying in a spray of laser fire. There's flamethrowers burning the wilderness back. In other places, the one flamethrower runs out and you see an unbelievable burst of growth of forest and creatures just out of the forest line, only to be burnt back by more of the lasers. This place is only existing because it is a weapons factory. It is clear now why they have this here. This is where they test their stuff. Their motto is, if it works on a Ketty, it works anywhere. It's proven by the location of their base. There is you can see on the flight screen, a cue ball. There is a very narrow sort of a tube that you're supposed to follow to get down to this base, and there is a sort of a public parking lot. For some unknown reason, the University of Higher Violence has a public parking lot.
Priorities.
Yes. Probably low on funding.
Right?
Just, they need to have an alumni meeting. They got to have a place for them to park. So.
I mean, you also have to have the visitors, the future student visitors.
Oh, of course, yes. The parents of all the people that drop their psychopathic children off here to learn how to be productive psychopathic children.
Right.
So, I want another piloting or another
helm roll.
Another helm roll, please. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so here's hoping for better than 3. Actually, no. I'm gonna burn a gambit.
Okay.
Because I don't trust the dice tonight. It's a good thing.
Ooh, good thing. Well, it depends which way those were rolled, but either way, it's a 6. You put the porcelain hands on the control panel again. This time with a certain firmness, and you hear, "All right, but not too friendly."
I will only be a gentleman, ma'am.
And you do so, touching
Always
only the buttons which are appropriate and only in a way which are appropriate. And with your delicate porcelain fingers, it's actually not a bad experience all around. As the Rebel Dally, or as Fiona now settles to the parking lot. It does that thing where the ground is here, that comes down and hovers just on the ground, and then the 4 legs come up, and then it settles the last couple inches.
The proper way, not like last time or yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. Last night didn't go well. And then the steps go out and go down just like they should. Mm. You are free to move about the planet.
And then, of course, because he just bounces out the window and not the window, at the door.
Yeah.
And just like, boing, looks around. Okay, where are we going?
I helped Saga up from her seat.
Mahoshi, you're the first one out the door. As you sort of land at the bottom of the stairs, you see this tendril snap out of the forest towards you.
Can I shoot it?
You can certainly try. Give it a scrap. Oh dear, we're taking the lowest one of those. So that is a 1. That is well, it didn't make a difference. They're both. So, yeah, you go to pull out your pew pew blaster to shoot it, but you forgot to take the silencer off after you shot. You were going to shoot inside, so it kind of gets hung up in your holster. Yeah, But then there's a, and this tendril explodes in a green mist. And you hear behind you, the other 2 of you, as you're coming down the stairs at a more sedate pace. The 3 of you hear from over by the building. Hello and welcome to the University to Higher Violence. Please come inside where we can talk more freely. And you guys are now just surrounded by this hail of fire. There's lasers in all directions. There's bits of forest trying to come at you. Stuff with teeth is trying to eat the lasers as it's coming into the forest. I mean,
hell yeah. Saga's parkouring all over as she goes down this path.
Absolutely, just pinging and shooting stuff, and
laser fire, shooting shit.
I'm not even gonna make you roll. You are just like, just ding, 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 bang, 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 bang. Stuff's dying all over the place.
Cue ball is just like absolutely repulsive. Just
you have to kind of sidestep a couple times because there's some nasty messes. Cue ball.
Yeah,
you want to get all over your white porcelain feet.
Roll here.
Okay.
She's just gonna go ahead and appear behind the guy.
Okay. Yeah. 5 and a 6. Take the lowest of the 2. That is a 5. So yeah, you we still got the 1 left over from that scrap too. So you kind of look over and it's, I don't want to be here, and you blink and you're standing inside the building now, right behind this guy, but you kind of forgot to stop giving your body instructions. So the holster now clears with the silencer, and it kind of comes up into his armpit. So completely unintentionally, he's got your gun in his armpit, and you can imagine what he's thinking right now.
That's a weak spot too.
Yeah, like right in the armor, and you've got the drop on completely by accident, got the drop on somebody at the University of Higher Violence. What are the 2 still outside doing? You guys see this. Apparently Yoshi, sorry. I knew I was going to do that. Mihoshi, you see her apparently take the door guard hostage. What do?
Saga is going to keep parkouring her way over to the door.
Yep.
And she's going
You're there.
to... I'm there? Okay.
Yep.
So, she's going to do like a nice 3-point land in front of the guy. And she's going to stand up and she's going to go, now, Mihoshi, we don't do that to our friends. And then she's going to sort of take the guard by the shoulders and just scoot him over so he's out of the way of Mihoshi's gun. And then
just sort of move the arm up, push.
Yeah. Over and then back down. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like, save that one for later, okay, Mihoshi?
Mihoshi, you look down. There's this much of the little wooden stick sticking out. Like it was that close to going off in his armpit.
She just giggles.
Yes.
Also,
luckily it is just blanks. You would have just poked him really hard in the armpit, but he didn't know that.
Yeah, also Saga's going to be like, and maybe change your ammo.
You take the silencer off, and there's a little button on the side that says pew pew and flag. Switch it back to pew pew. So that's 2 of them inside. Cue ball. You strike me as the kind of person who might want to make an entrance. How do you cross the last few yards of this? I mean, this is a battleground. There's nothing short of a battleground against a whole planet.
Cue ball's kind of done the intentionally oblivious walk as all of this murder and mayhem happens around them. And at the very end, just as he's about to get to the door, this big, huge, honking, like massive meat and teeth comes up in front of him, just like it's about to eat his face off.
Yeah.
And he just looks at us like, "Are you quite done?"
Are you quite finished?
And just walks around him as it gets cut down by all the automated defenses.
Give me a that is, where is it?
That might be command.
Command, yeah. Give me a command. Yeah. Absolutely.
Position risky?
Yep. Risky and standard.
Standard.
It just changes the 5, yeah. So you you just say that and just walk around, and somehow this thing, I mean, there's not 2 brain cells in the whole thing, but you can feel it go, huh? It doesn't know how to respond to something that isn't deathly afraid of it. And you just walk around and past it, and it starts to, whatever the equivalent of sweat is for this thing, and one of these big green, snotty, burning, sort of acidic blobs falls off, and unbeknownst to Cue Ball, lands on the back of your helmet. And as you step inside, completely unaware, 4-Ball flies up from behind you with a new piece of cloth. I don't know where he gets them all. And just
buffs it out.
As you go through the door, all you can hear is a tiny squeaking behind you. I'll leave it up to you whether you put together what's going on.
He's fully aware. I mean,
okay.
Scuffs on his person are not taken lightly, but the fact that 4-Ball took care of it, it's like, oh, thank you.
And the 4-Ball shakes out the little rag and then makes it go away somewhere. I don't know where.
He's got little hands. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a question.
But then he put it away. He's got pockets too, apparently. Yeah. Velvet-lined pockets.
His hands are literal loops. Like how he's able to hold things is an absolute mystery.
So, with that, the 3 of you step into the lobby of the University of Higher Violence. It's like stepping into a military museum. There's old school brass cannons, there's iron cannons, there's laser cannons. All down the other side is vehicles. So there's like carts, and then jeeps, and then hover tanks, and just all the way down both sides of this huge hall. It's like a I was going to say memorial, but it's still ongoing. It's like a temple to war and violence. All the walls that you can see are red and black.
Saga is wide-eyed and like kind of... She's not drooling yet.
Yeah.
She's very like... She's never been one for history per se.
Yep.
But like,
now
if it's weapons, she's willing to learn.
And there's a whole bunch of those little kiosks down the middle, the ones where you walk up and push the button and it tells you stuff while pictures change inside the hollow cube. There's a whole bunch of those too.
I press all of them. I run down and press all of them. Because
they're all talking at once, so now there's just this endless matter in this room.
Yeah.
Cue Ball.
Cue Ball makes his way over to the autonomous weapons section and looks to one of the very first warbots. It's like, you remind me of 3. And just
apparently
sort of
3 was
away.
a violent bastard. Okay,
3 was security.
3 was security, of course. Bright yellow shirts, old school security before they went red shirts. Mihoshi, what do you make of this?
She's gonna be. You said they're actual cars, though, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
She's just gonna be pretty much bouncing on top of each one of them, looking inside real quick, saying, "Ha ha ha, cool, bump, awesome, bump, woo, bump, all right." You know, just all that.
So the 3 of you just all lose your shit in this museum, and the guy that let you in, you see him close the door behind you, see him lock the... Well, if any of you were looking, you'd see him lock the doors. He looks around. It's the same every bloody time. I'll be down here in the office when you're done. And he just walks the length of the hallway into this little cubicle at the end. You guys can play out here as long as you like.
All he did
Saga
was
definitely like does that thing where she pretends that she's like manning the guns and just like goes.
Oh yeah.
She just goes like
stand and go pew 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 because it's a big gun. Yes. Yeah. Oh, she's driving stuff that isn't moving. Yeah.
Eventually, Saga remembers what he's here for.
Cue Ball's flirting with a point defense weapon. Yeah.
Not so much flirting, just reminiscing. I missed 3. Good conversationalist.
I couldn't help myself. I had to take. I took what you did and I just made it worse.
That's worse. Those have been my roles tonight. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's one of the things I love about you guys is you play your roles.
Do not remember what I've been doing. So what we're picking somebody up again. We're doing another.
You got to drop off this letter to somebody, and then apparently that letter is going to make them come with you. Nobody's asked why. You know 3 words out of the letter. You still have the letter, and the corner's ripped open. What more can I do?
Can I try one more time to read the letter?
Well, you're going to have to take the tape off, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
if you don't care that they know it's been opened, you can absolutely open up this letter and read it. Professor Calliope, University of Advanced Violence.
I like a little mystery.
So you leave it closed. Yep.
I'm just gonna yell, Mahoushi, QB, let's go.
There's a slight stiffening.
Now it's a white cube in my head with rounded corners like a die.
Yeah.
When Saga calls him QB, there's a slight stiffening.
Yeah.
But, and then just
you hit a nerve.
Just back into protocol mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit a digital nerve.
Well, she ends up bouncing over to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, you called? Are we gonna play now?
We're gonna do our job, and then we can play some more.
Oh, okay, cool.
Very good, man.
I go pee now. And she takes out her.
It took me a second to realize that was EW, not EEEE.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, she just peed on stuff. Wow, weird.
Approves in Gazbag.
So.
I put my hand on Mahoshi's gun and I lowered it. I'm like, not yet. Not yet.
She's using her finger, not her actual gun.
I still lower it and I go, not yet.
Force her to holster her finger gun in her pocket. Put that away until later. You don't have a license to open carry that. Oh, it's in the bra. and you can clearly see it through the shirt. Like this. With that, the 3 all-stars of the universe, exuding confidence every step of the not at all, you guys head into the office at the end of this museum and look at the host, for lack of a better phrase. And he looks up and he says, you guys are here to... You don't look like you're signing up for courses. What are you here for?
You wish. Calliope.
It's like a music box. You turn a handle.
You know who I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? That. Yeah.
We need to see Calliope.
Oh, Professor Calliope. Oh, he hates being called by just his name. Oh, yeah, Professor Calliope. Yeah.
You need to see Mr. PC.
He doesn't like that name either. He doesn't like any of his names, really. He's just down this hall here, last door on the left. Be careful. And think about that for a minute. Think of where you are, where your ship is parked, and what we do here.
So I catch everything?
doesn't like it when you touch everything.
Oh.
Although I can't imagine many people have touched many of his things now that I think about it.
Oh.
All right.
Close the door behind you, Kay. And he does that security guard thing that he does when he is absolutely abdicating control. He just turns and stares at the wall of screens. Actively turns his back on you and stares at the screens.
End conversation in brackets.
Yeah.
I'm going to Saga is going to lead the other two out of the office.
Yep.
And she's gonna think for a second.
And you see the hallway.
Yeah. She's gonna try and formulate a plan while she's walking down the hallway, but first she's gonna turn to Mihoshi. She's gonna be like, best behavior, okay?
All of a sudden you see her looking like one of the students there. It's like, okay, I'm a good student.
The little school person outfit. Yeah, yeah, it's just a different uniform.
It's like the typical Sailor Moon.
It's that, but combat fatigues.
Yes, yeah, with armor plates and yeah.
It's like a Roman
Basically,
skirt.
It looked like she was back when she was in the patrol school.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So yeah, when you were in the Nuclear Girl Guides as a child, yeah, Home Defense League called the Nuclear Girl Guides.
The Kinder Grenadiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically that, and then like her hair is dressed up in the ponytails like I have, the pigtails like I have on right now.
It's a couple seconds before Four Ball shows up, Cue Ball, and you kind of turn back to see where they are, and they're hovering over the security guard's shoulder, and you see Four Ball do that thing he does when they're laughing, and he kind of like the dog that got caught being doing something, and it comes charging over to you.
What was it this time?
I look at
the little screen where his eye. Okay, the little screen where his eye normally is, whose iris is open, and it shows. It's a tiny little screen, but you can see it. It's a typical cartoon. You don't really recognize it because Cue Ball's not that kind. He doesn't watch cartoons, but you do recognize that there's a little animated mouse, a little animated duck, an animated bunny rabbit, and Frankie, all running around doing insane things in this cartoon.
I look at it,
and iris is shut.
You see the equivalent of Cue Ball trying to like rub its eye. If it had temples,
just the thumb comes up and rubs the blue dot.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, that's what he does.
Oh yeah. Frankie is gone. Frankie has overindulged in the cartoons and fallen into one. This is how we are explaining his missing for the rest of this episode.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Frankie Tunes. That's what has happened this time.
So I turn to everybody, and Saga goes, Mihoshi, Four Ball, best behavior. QB, you're my backup.
Little arm.
Was that Four Ball?
Yep.
Okay. And then I turn around and I start heading towards the other office that we need to go to.
Absolutely. So right down the end of the hall because they keep their crazies down the hall. You figure that out as you're going. The first couple offices you go by are pretty normal. By the time you get about a quarter of the way down, that you're smelling like brimstone and burning stuff.
The professor of pyrotechnics.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple doors down again, it's like, ooh, I smell lightning, like ozone. And you hear cracking behind one door. You look, that door is actually made out of rubber. It's the electrical department. And you just, every step of the way, it's getting worse and worse. Pretty soon there's sawdust on the floor to absorb, the spray that's coming out of one room. You have to kind of go around. That's probably poisons or acids. Either way, you kind of avoid that.
Then Mihoshi's just sweeping it towards the door.
Just clean it, shoving it all back in the room. You hear from inside the room, what the hell? Oh, my feet. God damn it, it's supposed to drain out under the door. You're just sweeping more of it back in, sweeping lightning back in. Anything that comes out, Mahoshi's sweeping it back into the room it came from.
Yeah, just magically the room appears in her hand and she does that. Mm-hmm.
Cue-ball.
As Cue-ball watches Mahoshi do that, it's like, we could have used you at bollocks.
He doesn't remember. I mean, I know exactly this feeling. You know what it looked like. You know where the tables are. You can even see the map on the wall, the "You Are Here" map of the casino you used to work in. But at the top where the name is, it's just a big golden blur.
Looks like somebody's taken like a angle grinder to it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Hush has actually never been there.
Nope.
Well, it hasn't been open. It hasn't been open in over 130 years.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's deeper problems.
Yeah.
But with that, you guys finally get to the end of the hall. And after all of that, after lightning and fire and poisons and acids, it's very, very quiet down here at the end of the hall. All you can hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, you go first.
All you can hear is distant weeping.
Saga raises an eyebrow, but with an interested smirk.
Yep, there's only one door left.
Yeah, the 3 words were Caesar, or Augustus, Caesar, and what?
Roman.
Okay,
yep.
And she's going to. So I have a detonator in case we need it.
Okay.
We've got grenades because it's kind
this escalated instantly.
I brought
like
it.
Leveling the playing field, really.
Yeah, I brought it with me because I knew where we were going, and I knew I would need a bargaining chip.
Yeah, you bought a detonator to a weapons factory. Okay.
Exactly.
The byline of the game is bad decisions in blaster fire, so we're on topic.
Saga is not the best strategist, but she tries.
No, absolutely. So you have a highly explosive device, yes.
And
where is this highly explosive? Like in your hand?
Just in my pocket.
In your pocket, okay.
It's a sack of grenades.
Yeah. I can pull it out when I need it. And we'll just say it has a timer function.
In case we need to level the place. What?
And so I make sure everything is in its place for me to grab it if I need it. And then I do a little jaunty knock on the door.
Absolutely. Speaking of the door, all the other doors in this place have been like office doors, except for the one that was rubber for the electrical room. This one is like black wood, and it's got gold lettering on it. And it says Professor Calliope in big gold letters, and in smaller letters underneath it, it says, "Don't pronounce it wrong." And you can see the accent in the way that it's written.
She's going to get out a gold pin and write down, "I don't care."
You hear from inside, "I am seeing that." And the door opens.
I shoot Mihoshi look like, really? But also good job.
This is best behavior, Mahoshi.
Fuck.
You open the door. The door opens, and you look in, and you see that standing across the thing. He's wearing the mask. He's got the outfit on, which is like a weird, almost like a tracksuit with piping on it. There's liquids running around all those tubes all over his body. His hair is sort of moving on its own accord. And I almost forgot. While he does not have the robots flying around him, he does, weirdly enough, when you step into the room. You guys hear it? Yeah.
Saga looks at Mihoshi and goes, "Please, whatever you do, don't make a balloon animal."
She's holding like 3 balls in her hand.
You look over in the corner. You brought this on yourselves. You look over in the corner, and there is a balloon person. Like a balloon animal, but it's a full-size person. But somehow it's been done in so much detail, it's clearly the Scream. That picture. In balloon animals with balloon fingers and balloon lips and a balloon nose and balloon eyes and a balloon background. The only thing that's real is the distant scream. Which I know is not the person in the picture screaming. They're reacting to the scream of the universe they suddenly heard. I know the story. Never mind. There's still a scream.
When Cue Ball hears the music, there's like none of those guys see it, but he just sees flashbacks of Mr. Bones at the casino.
Yes.
And just oh gods. Like a robot that doesn't believe in the existence of a higher power is going, oh gods.
Yes.
Just
and from the outside, again, you don't see this, but the others do. He's rapidly cycling through all the colors of Pool Ball, including the ones with stripes. The head just going click, 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 click.
Okay, I immediately count Cue Ball out of my my bag of
So I gotta ask, Cue Ball, does he remind Cue Ball of a performer that he saw there? Like, was it a circus casino?
No,
what's the trigger?
It's just Bones in general. It's just for something about
just
it.
The creepy.
There was Bones is the reason everything happened. That's why 8-Ball kept it along or kept Bones' head.
Right. So it's kind, in a way, it's this is the reminder of when it was
This is the reminder
I love
of
it.
past traumas.
Yeah.
And
so Cue Ball is kind of frozen up. Absolutely, I love that. Thank you for role playing that way. Mihoshi and Saga, what are you doing? Saga, you've got the letter.
Actually, the balls are eventually going to disappear from Mihoshi's hands. Just like magic, of course, because Saga said to behave. But then, as I was leaving a little bit ago, just kind of like dancing to the song, she's going to kind of dance a little bit to the music and just like twirl around in place and act like a little ballerina. Her clothes aren't going to change, but she'll act like she's a ballerina or something.
The balloon screamer stands up and without changing their position or their form, starts to dance with you around this room with the music.
You just hear balloon golem, balloon golem, balloon golem.
The Saga now crosses Mihoshi off her list of helpers. And, does he have a desk?
Yes. Yeah, there is a desk in the corner.
Where is he in the room? So I can picture it.
So picture a rectangular room. Think of like a piece of paper, so 8.5 by 11. That's the shape of the room.
Okay.
Right at the far back in the when you're looking into it, the far back on the right-hand side, that's where his desk is, and he's standing right beside that with his hand on the desk at the back of the room. Between you and them, there's 2 desks running down the side, just covered in documents, and in the middle, there's a workbench. And it's got all kinds of bits and bobs and wires and things that are sparking, containers of green stuff that are bubbling, and all kinds of stuff.
I'm going to walk across the room at a relatively confident, slowish pace, eyeing the things on the workbench.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to go to the main desk in the corner and just kind of sit like with one leg or one butt cheek on it, kind of casually, like half sitting, half leaning. And I'm gonna just look at him and be like, so what's the sitch?
Why is it you are here? What is it you want from me?
We got a message for you.
Why did the spray not work on you? What message?
Ooh, a spray? Nice. Like, you'll have to tell me about that later. It seems important, but I have some questions first.
I do not guarantee answers. Go ahead.
So,
Is it filters? Are filters up your nose? You start trying to look up your nose.
Oh, you want to see? No, we're just great.
We're just great.
But also, like, she's magic and he's a robot, so
This didn't work on me. I'm fiction. I stole that from Sean Bean. Anyway. Go ahead.
You're clearly in, I guess we could call it a nefarious business. And we're kind of in, I guess you could call it a nefarious business. Who's Augustus Caesar, the Roman?
Cue Ball just immediately starts spouting off what would be the Galactopedia page.
Yep.
Just it snaps him out of his reverie. It's like Augustus Caesar was blah 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 blah.
And yeah, Calliope just points. that is the one there. Yes.
No, Caesar with a U.
And there's one eye there's a tick. Just a. What are you talking about? Why are you here? What is it you want from me?
Oh, just give it to him already. And then she goes back to dancing.
No,
What to me already? Why is your friend dancing with the balloons? Those are just balloons. How are they doing that?
I told you she's magic.
Sir, I've only been conscious for less than a day, and I've already assumed it is best not to ask questions in these kinds of situations.
What he said.
Where is his mouth? How is he talking? I don't even see a grate.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm still gonna assume it's worth working with you because you work here. So you basically I like nefarious things. And I want in.
I know a band called Nefarious NFG. Stands for not very good.
You know she's gonna suddenly appear next. Just gonna make her way over to him. Not suddenly appear. Let's try this again.
You just walk over. So you just walk over next to him.
She's gonna dance over to him.
Yeah, with the balloon
and
animal.
Finally,
balloon person.
Oh, she's gonna let go of the balloon and it's gonna go back to the face.
Yeah, just goes back to the corner.
Yeah, she's gonna walk over to him, dance over to him, and then
Too
just
tempo
kind
to
of
the music.
put her hands gently on his shoulder or arm, whatever she can reach.
Yeah.
And it's like, darling, Professor, my dear, she just wants a little bit of help. She wants to help you, so it might be wise to go ahead and give her the information she needs or wants, whatever. And then we'll give you
bombs. You are wanting explosives. You are wanting. What are you wanting? I don't know what you are needing still.
I don't know if she did.
Cue Ball.
What do you
grabs
want?
The letter. Grabs the letter from. Saga has
Cue
it.
Ball's on the other side of the room.
Cue Ball's came over.
It's a small enough room.
It's a small enough room.
The question is, are you going to try and stop him from doing it?
Yes.
Okay. So I need you. Are you going to sneak up and do it, or are you just going to walk up and do it?
It's going to be a. I'm going to try and sway her. It's like, Madam, we have a package. We have a job to do. It is best in our best interest is to do it.
Yeah, and of course, Mihoshi was trying to sway the professor to just answering Saga.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a whole bunch of sway rolls, I guess.
Saga thinks about it.
Because I don't like rolling against other players. So that one I want you guys to figure out. But absolutely, anybody who's trying to sway the professor, go ahead.
All right, well, I will do that then.
Yeah, I'm gonna assist.
In convincing
by doing what? Give them an extra die.
Here's my mouse. I'm going to I saw my dad do this look once when he was questioning one of his captives.
Yep.
It's this really steely, like boring into you kind of look.
Yep.
Like, I'm being nice, and
the
you don't
on-brand
make...
steel stare down.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a command roll.
Okay.
Or sway, whichever one you like.
Okay, I'm gonna do sway.
Okay. I want you to succeed. You choose. That way, when you fail, you can't blame me.
Are there
click the
extra
word
dice
sway,
or...
and it's just default on both of them.
That's what I'm waiting for, is the bonus dice. I'm gonna let Saga go first.
Right. Okay. Good. Because there's two ways you can do this. You can either do a setup, which is you make a roll. If you succeed, they get an extra benefit on the way that it turns out. Or you can assist, which is you burn a stress and they get one extra. You do it either way.
Let's do a setup.
Okay, that way it doesn't cost you stress. So you try and do that. So then give us the sway while you try, and that would be your attempt to help. If that succeeds, then instead of a regular effect, instead of a standard effect, it will have a great effect. If then Mahoshi succeeds.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, no, that's a negative modifier to that. He's starting to really dislike you. You have clearly something to say to me you are not wanting to say, and you are very close. And he turns to Mahoshi.
I'm going to use a gambit, so that's going to add a dice, right?
Absolutely, it does.
And you know what? I don't have any stress right now, so I am going to...
Burn 2 stress for an extra one?
Burn 2 stress for the extra
Absolutely.
one.
So 2 extra dice.
Because she really wants this to succeed.
Somebody has to succeed tonight. The rolls have been hideous.
Right?
There's that kind of succeed again.
Yeah, well, that's better than nothing.
You, well, that depends on how I do this. He kind of goes, not limp under your arm, but you can feel him relax. You also feel his arms snake around your waist. And he kind of drops his hand on your hip. He turns and grins at you and says, "Keep talking." "You I do not like." He looks at Saga. "You keep talking."
Looks at Saga. "You remind me of work." You look like play.
Cuball, what do you do? Pass is acceptable. If there's nothing you can think of right now. He's just standing there.
Honestly, nothing I can really think of other than, he's just a very, very dapper man, and none of his connections really work in this situation.
Yep. He knows people in high places, and these are all low places.
Yeah. What the hell?
He just can't remember the high place he knows them all from.
Yeah.
Saga, what are you doing? You've been snubbed by a Russian arms merchant who is apparently trying to date your friend. What are you doing?
I am going to walk across the room again, confidently.
Yep.
While I open the letter and read it.
Okay. Out louder to yourself, or do you want me to tell you what it says first?
Tell me what it says first.
So you flip it open and start to read it. This is a blackmail letter. It says, "We know you stole the idea for your most famous weapon. We know it's called the Augustus because when it hits you, you have seizures and spend some time roaming around not remembering who you are. We'll turn you into we'll spoil your career unless you come with these," and then there's sort of the equivalent of 3 dots, "fine people."
Well, he thinks Mahoshi's fine.
Yeah. His mouth just kind of drops for a minute. She goes like, ugh.
Did you read it out loud once you hear that? Or maybe this guy's just got a thing for adults in school clothes. I don't know.
Saga is going to... Yeah, she'll read it out loud.
So you just... And he's just... As you do it, he's just... Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot the accent. Yes, okay, yes, all right. All right, okay, what am I doing? I am coming with you. We are going what is it we are doing?
We're gonna go on a field trip.
Come on, I got a nice little room for you. We can have a little fun if you like. I don't know, but we need to get going. The ship.
Yep. I don't even need a roll, because as you kind of fade away, maybe this is why you fade away. As you start talking, his hand starts drifting south onto a posterior portion of your anatomy.
Uh-huh.
I go, Middle, don't sell yourself short.
You mentioned a small room?
Well, we have a ship first and then a small room, okay?
Okay, between the note and you, I am coming. All right, let's go. Yes, for sure. Little honk. Little
Oh, you teaser.
I've never seen this side of Miyoshi before.
Did I do it correctly? I am not so sure I am supposed to, which one I am supposed to do.
Doing just fine, big boy.
And you see, like, he is pale, and you just watch the red rise up from underneath his mask and up into his hair. It's the same color. He starts to sweat. He might be a master of violence, but this is not his comfort zone. And you just sort of walk, and it's like his hand is glued to you, and he just kind of follows by the hand as you lead him towards the door. Saga, what are you doing?
I'm just being a mama duck and guiding these 3 idiots back to the ship.
Cuba, what are you doing?
Well, slips a condom into the guy's pocket and pats him on the back. Because, he's from a casino. This is like standard.
Yeah, that's just good. That's good store policy. Meanwhile, behind him, 4-ball blushes red, turns briefly into a 3-ball is red, yeah, and then back to and back to purple. You guys head back towards the ship. There was going to be like a whole thing where he screamed and yelled and tried to get the guards to come and get you, but he thinks he's getting some, so he is absolutely categorically in no way, shape, or form resisting. He proudly walks you out through the front room, past the office of the bursar, all the way down the middle of the museum with his hand firmly planted on your butt. Totally ignoring the other two. His face mask is starting to blow smoke and steam out the back as he's getting excited as he heads towards the doors with you. The music, I won't do it, but the music starts to get louder and even slightly more discordant, like he's having trouble concentrating. As you walk outside into the parking lot. And back to the Fiona. Is there anything any of you would like to do? This is it. You absolutely broke this in the best possible way. There was going to be a whole big fight and everything else, and now there's not. I love you people.
Barding our way through.
Yep, absolutely. Just sexied your way through it all. So, as you walk out, this music stops. From the Fiona. Rebels theme music rises, and you do the slow motion walk across the parking lot. Sorry?
And still on posterior.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He is now. With every step, there's a squeeze.
I'm not actually seeing him walk. I'm seeing him floating behind.
He's floating, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He has forgotten to walk. He's not magical. He is so besotted that he is floating beside you, because why not? His hand on your butt, his other hand on his heart, or maybe somewhere where he's put his heart, as he continuously professes his love to you in dozens of languages, each one more romantic than the one before. Saga, you stride across the parking lot, feeling like maybe there was a different way than what you were taught. Maybe this is the reason why you left. Maybe it isn't all blaster fire and bad decisions. Maybe sometimes it's just bad decisions. Cuba, you manage There is a certain way that a gentleman can strut. It's not this, it's not the bobbing head. It is a way of walking which just denies the existence of all difficulty and all challenges.
Manners maketh man.
Manners make the man. Floorball dusts you off, polishes the bits that got a little dirty before you step out like a good valet does. He steps back, and for the first time, his little window opens up, and he illuminates you in a soft white light. And the three of you in that light.
I've missed this.
Somehow, a little titanium bow tie appears on your neck, just out of the collar of your. And the three of you make your way across the parking lot into the Fiona. And she rises from the surface. It's like the plant life and the animal life itself takes a moment. And all the heads turn and look. The tree sharks.
Damn it, I forgot to grab a tree shark.
Frankie's family peers out at you through the foliage. Weird shit happening all around them. And in that moment, as you rise, you realize that you have stopped the planet as they watch heroes leaving. But that moment only lasts a second before one of the trees goes, realizes nobody else is watching, and rips the throat out of another tree, starting the battle again. Behind you, the planet erupts in its endless, ongoing civil war with itself. The lasers fire off at the University of Higher Violence like nothing happened. And as the Fiona rises up to the Rebel Alliance, the Rebel Dalliance.
Get it right.
I did. I think that's only the third mistake I made tonight, I think. You guys get back up there. Because we have a very firm rule about this. Mihoshi, do we have to leave things at a bedroom door, or are you going to do something horrible? I'll give you a second to think. When you guys get back to the ship, cue ball. Anything you do?
Well, heads down to the AI core and has it starts off stern, but they ends up having a very, very personable conversation with the AI, apologizing for its rudeness and the rocky start that they had at the beginning, and appreciates what you've done taking care of the little traitor. I mean, kin of mine.
You get a little electrocution through the seat, but that's
it doesn't end amicably. It's sort of like agree to disagree.
The handshake, and agree to be professional. Absolutely.
Cue Ball wanted to keep on because, well, he's got to talk to his boss Yadu and figure all that shit out, but understands that this is really not the place for a butler.
Yes, absolutely.
Really not. So after a cordial and honest goodbye to Saga, just sort of, it has been a pleasure working with you, madam. I hope you just the usual concierge. Yeah, the pleasantries. Yeah. Leaves a plate of chocolates at Mahoshi's door and heads back.
Set in a little heart shape.
Yeah, set in a little heart shape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I say,
sorry, go ahead.
One more thing before, right before Cue Ball goes back into the closet, Saga goes, "Oh, hold on, wait," and she goes and grabs her hat back.
You have to kind of pull it off because you did say you glued it on or taped it on or something.
I taped it.
Yeah.
Floorball helps you. Right as you're pulling it off, Floorball's right behind you with this tiny little scalpel scraping off every little bit of tape.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
So I would suggest
Put
that
it
there
on
is
my
now
head.
that same sort of cordial but professional relationship has now developed between Floorball and Saga, where they agree to disagree about how to treat cue ball, but they're going to be professional about it.
I don't disrespect cue ball. I just have a different relationship with it.
Which brings us back around to Mihoshi and her date.
I'm gonna let Fortune decide.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell us before you roll. How does this?
Okay.
So the way this would normally work, a 1 to 3 would be a fail. I don't know. I don't even want to contemplate what that means in this context. So-
Maybe just like evens or odds.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get to hear the last bit. An internet connection? Oh no.
No, we can
Okay.
still hear you. You're still here,
I can hear
Moshi.
you, so
There we go. I can hear you now. I don't know what's going on.
no problem.
Maybe like evens and odds.
It was a dramatic timing, so yes. What is it you're trying to decide? Whether you
Okay,
sleep with the professor or not? Is it that simple, or
where we end up. How's that?
okay?
I was gonna say, I guess we can do it this way. Odds, they end up staying with they end up staying on Fiona because
They don't leave the car.
Yeah, we don't leave the
Yeah.
boat,
Yeah.
the ship there. Evens, they end up somewhere else on the ship. The higher the number, the closer to the room. If it's a 6, they actually end up in the room.
Okay.
If it's a 2,
It's in a hallway somewhere where
they
anybody
made
can
it
see.
to the hallway. And that's
Yep.
about it.
Absolutely. Oh, come on, twos. Come on, twos.
So, ready?
Ready.
And
Here it comes.
Go.
I love this, by the way. I absolutely love this. This is the limit pushing I want to see. And I'm leaving it to a fortune roll, so it's absolutely down to luck. 0 dice. So you take the lowest result above.
2.
Which is a
in the
2.
hallway.
Yeah.
The 4 of you, the 3 of you and the professor step off of the Fiona, and that's about as far as the 2 of them get. There's like every step, there's clothes coming off, the mask is coming off. Calliope's hair turns out to be a wig; it comes off, and
And then all of a sudden, like, this tent pops up out of nowhere, and
yeah,
nobody
Yes,
can
please.
see it anymore.
yeah. Thank you. There's a tent pops up,
Just a curtain.
You
a
hear, like,
slider. Yeah, just
An
like
actual
those.
curtain.
Yeah, like those horrible ones they have at the hospital that don't actually block anything, except this one does because it's. So yes,
I
the
feel
privacy
like
screen
I feel like
front
it,
of in front of the
it's
2
like
of you.
it's got like techno bits in it, and it like can actually flip sensor bars.
That's where the 6 is coming from. That's it. The 6 is the 6 is what happens with the 6 is that it allows for Mihoshi to make the
Yes.
like a airbed appear out of nowhere, and then like the covering that's around them,
one was where
and make it all nice and dark.
Absolutely.
And,
There's like a
And-
canopy, and like Careless Whisper starts playing.
And I can do one better than that. As the what is now apparently turned into basically a canopied bed inside a tent, as far as I can tell. As that forms, you hear from
pavilion.
inside. Saga and 8-Ball, what do? You turn and look, 4-Ball is red again. And he keeps looking away, like there's no way you could look to get away from a sound, but they're trying to look away.
Saga just goes, "Huh," and then like feelings it.
As you run past, you've almost kept it down, and then you see the wig sticking out of the corner of the tent. 8-Ball or cue ball. What are you doing?
Cue ball grabs 8-Ball by one of the hands, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're too young for this.
Grabs 4-Ball, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And as soon as you start dragging them away, they do that thing. Well, now it must be important, so they keep trying to look back, and you're dragging them as they're trying to look back.
No.
You hear the little telephoto lens inside going.
Hand goes over the 4-ball moves. Hand 4-ball. No.
It kind of subsides and goes purple again.
Yeah. It's like
I almost had it go blue, but never mind.
Saga turns the ship's like stereo system, like cranks it to try and get that music.
You drown out. You can crank it as loud as you want. Somewhere in your head, you can still hear. And yeah, everyone in the ship, every once in a while, just hears.
Cue Ball tells 4-Ball, ask Bones while I'm asleep. You really must know.
And goes back to his room, the last thing 8-Ball or Cue Ball sees as the little blue dot closes. Oh, you know, like TVs used to do, where they'd go down to a dot and then disappear? That's the little blue dot in the middle of you it starts to do that, and the last thing you see through it is 4-Ball pulling on Mr. Bones' skull. And you know Bones is in for a hell of a night. And you drop off to sleep. Eventually you all get to sleep, or not, as the case may be. You at the very least get to do some research into special weapons.
Oh, yeah.
I love... Wayward, you are so responsive. I absolutely love it. I just drop an innuendo and you just go, red.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. Like, when I have weird reactions or if I like go or whatever, like, I still love it. I'm just a reactive person.
I know. I can see you smiling through it. But with that, we will drop, leaving Frankie in the Frankie Tunes world for the moment. We will drop the curtain on tonight as you guys get back to the Rebel Dalliance and try not to think about what's happening down on the flight deck. I said deck with an E. You mind yourselves.
You went there.
With that, I'm going to give the two reddest faces a chance to recover. One of them, I have nothing to say, but you did that to yourself. Thank you, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Let's start with Bison. You finally got to play Cue Ball. What was that like, being able to speak?
A little interesting. Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of personality built in for Cue Ball. I mean, Bones has a whole...
He's bland, that's what he is.
Yeah, he's the whole point.
Yeah.
And putting him on a combat planet is just like...
Yeah.
It's like, I think we used the wrong head, sir.
Bad casting, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for bringing them to the game.
Hey,
if I remember this week, that's all I can say now. If I remember, I'll have the overlay where we can switch them back and forth from whichever head you're using that week. Okay, it looks like they can both breathe again. Let's start with Wayward Knight. Thank you so much for coming to play tonight. I'm so happy to see the smile. Thank you so much.
Yep.
we shamed you so much. You heated the room up with your wonderful responses, and it's those visceral responses that I really like when I'm playing with you, because there's no shield between your feelings and your face. You have a feeling, and it's just like, bam, here it is, and I love that. There's so few people who are that honest with who they are. Thank you so much for coming and playing with us. I appreciate that.
I like it. I loved it. Tonight, I felt like I was really what I intended Saga to be this whole time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. It takes time. It always takes time to hit your stride. So yeah, watch the early episodes of Mercs of Mischief, Too Many Warlocks with Guy. He's not done. He's just not there. You're making him up as you go along. So yeah, three episodes. It's not that's quick. That's only 6 hours. That's 1.5 normal regular sessions, and you've now got you know where you're at. You're in the right headspace. Right? Yay, indeed. let's talk about Mihoshi's headspace so we can keep the camera up here. I was not expecting that. Thank you. That was amazing. I wanted to make sure I gave you permission, like you decided where that scene went. So.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I'd just take it and run with it.
Absolutely. That's what this game's about.
I mean, I'm open. I'm a pretty open role player. I can go to the edge and back again, and I've been there, done that, wrote the book on it, I think. So, I mean, if you give me an inch, I can take it a mile.
And you did, and you did exactly what I asked you guys to do, which was break this game. The difficult part of that should have started the second you tried to get him out of his office, down that hallway full of crazy scientists, that he was going to start screaming, they're kidnapping me, as you tried to take him out. And there was, like, you guys were going to have to blast your way out of there or come up with some other brilliant idea, and instead you seduced a sociopath and walked out the front doors, which is absolutely brilliant. I could not ask for anything more. That was wonderful. Thank you all.
Sociopaths still have libidos.
They do. Well, and his is slightly. Well, never mind. I don't want to tell you what his libido is. We're going to leave that for leave everybody to think. Yeah, for 1 week, we'll just all go every time we think about it. So.
Glad I started a trend.
And
the next session's going to start with.
A ship floats through space.
The cosmos.
Yeah, a ship floats through space to the sound of gagging. There are 2 thank yous that I forgot to do last night. We got so wound up in the fun, I forgot 2 thank yous. And those are to all the people that are watching on Twitch right now and that were chatting all night. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I hope that no one threw up on your computer. Appreciate it very much. There were some people here tonight that hadn't been before because of normal commitments, so thank you for that as well. And for everybody that watches this in the future on Twitch, VOD, or YouTube, thank you for watching very, very much. I hope you had as much fun watching it as we had doing it. And with that, as always, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.